Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Today we're going to be talking about Puka Nacua. We have gotten to the wide receivers in this series. Before we dive into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan, including Instagram at JKBogan. Let's dive into it. So, Puka Nacua last year, I mean, you talk about a guy that made the most of his, opportunities. This is somebody that was drafted as the third of four picks that the Rams had in the fifth round, and they liked him a lot. Now, this is somebody that also dealt with injuries, transferred from Washington to BYU, dealt with some injuries, big reason why he fell. But the Rams really liked him. They liked his long-term future. I liked the pick at the time. Didn't finish his eval, but watching a lot of Jaren Hall tape, I even pointed this out during the draft. I really like this guy as kind of a fourth wide receiver option. Well, you fast forward to training camp and, preseason and everything, and you see this guy and what he can do. And Cooper Kupp goes down with an injury in August, early August. And now, it's up to Puka Nacua with these increased reps to really make the most out of it. Tutu Atwell was, coming on strong last year, going into the season. And so Puka Nacua also did that. And his first game of the year, he went off against the Seattle Seahawks. And that was really, a lot of people thought that was just a really nice debut. And, obviously fantasy football fans, they were going crazy, getting him at the, off the waiver wire and everything. But I feel like there were a lot of fans that were also like, I need to see more of this, and rightfully so. And then he kept doing it. And we saw a almost 1,500-yard season out of Nacua. Would have had 1,500 yards if he, ended up playing a full Week 18 game that he only played half of. But played all 17 games, 6 touchdowns, 1,486 for yards, 105 receptions. He broke records as a rookie. And, this 6'2", 205-pound receiver kind of resembles what, Cooper Kupp brings to the table. But he's a little more filled out, I would sense, in the way that, when he catches the ball, he is kind of a Mack truck, okay? He's hard to bring down. He really fights for extra yardage. And Cooper Kupp's hard to bring down too, don't get me wrong. But Cooper Kupp is also a veteran, okay? He knows, hey, I can't be doing this. I can't fight for every single yard. Sometimes I have to go out of bounds and such. Puka Nacua is almost ignorant for his own good. And the reason I say that is because he does not give up on a play. And it was talked about. We saw this during the season. We saw McVay mention it. This is somebody that does not know, how to protect himself yet. He's going to go out there. He's going to lay it all on the line. And we saw that. So, the 177th overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft ended up being by far the best receiver from that class, at least so far. He's 23, just turned 23 in May. And first year, not bad. Rookie of the Year, Pro Bowl, Sports Nation Rookie of the Year. He should have won Offensive Rookie of the Year, but C.J. Stroud won. The reality is Puka Nacua is already a number one receiver. And I think, a lot of me last year was kind of looking at him and saw, 119 on 10 catches, 147 on 15 to start off the year. Then Cincinnati, just a bad night. Nothing went well for the Rams. They lost 19-16. He catches 5 for 72. Looked really good doing so. Then he gets back on his run. 9 catches for 163 and a touchdown, a game-winning touchdown to beat the Colts. Then you have the Philly game, 7 catches for 71 and a touchdown. You have Arizona. He didn't really do anything in Arizona. Cooper Kupp was back. All that. But then Pittsburgh, 8 catches for 154, gave him a chance to win despite the fact that they were absent of Kyren Williams in that game. 3 catches for 43 against Dallas. That was not a great game by anybody. Green Bay, Brett Rippon is throwing him the football, so 3 catches for 32 is pretty much all he could muster in that one. Then he had 5 for 70 and a touchdown against Seattle. Arizona, 4 for 27. So he didn't really do well in the Arizona games. Worth mentioning, though, it was a run-heavy diet. Okay, there was a lot of Kyren Williams. He absolutely torched the Cardinals on the ground, and so that's that. But then, Cleveland, we saw 4 catches, 105 and a touchdown. And then he even had 2 carries for 34 yards. Baltimore 5 for 84. Washington 5 for 50. New Orleans 9 for 164 and a touchdown. 5 for 118 against the Giants. A huge reception. I believe he went quite the distance there. I was at the game, so I could tell you he did. And then you have the San Francisco game, 4 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown, only played a half. And then his best career game, period, came in the playoffs. 9 catches on 10 targets for 181 yards and a touchdown. That is the last time we saw Puka Nacua, okay? Those are wicked good numbers. And I just want to say something, okay? I hear it all the time. Guy that really emerges like this, you hear it all the time from people that call themselves a realist, right? Notice realist can't be positive. It's always like realist. I'm a negative type of person. Well, the realists out there are saying that Puka Nacua is going to have a sophomore slump because now tape is out on him. Well, tape was out on him halfway through the year and he continued to do what he did. Okay. I mean, how many 100+ yard games do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're counting the playoffs, that's 8 out of 10 games that he played all of last year, including the playoffs. He had over 100 yards in. Okay. This guy is for real. And now I hear all the time, well, Cooper Kupp is going to be back. He's going to be healthy. It's going to take away from Puka Nacua. No, it's not. It's going to help him out. That's what makes him so impressive. That's what made Puka Nacua so impressive last year. Because you can't just say it was just a volume target guy. Okay? That's not reality. The reality is he had to get open. He had to get off the line of scrimmage. He had to work with the fact that Cooper Kupp was not Cooper Kupp last year. He had a couple games where you're like, okay, but he was dealing with injuries, it seemed like the whole year. And Demarcus Robinson stood out in a big way, but Demarcus Robinson also had help because of Puka Nacua, helping him get open, right? And Tutu Atwell being the clear-out guy. So, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't normally do this. I normally want to, temper my expectations. First-year guy, 5th rounder. Obviously, it's hard to do that when he had over 1,400 yards. But normally, I would push back and say he's going to have like 1,200, maybe even drop off into the thousands, right? I think he's going to be better this year. I think he's legit. I came away after, and I've said this before on this channel, and I'll say it again. I rewatched his film, all of his reps, all of his film. And I came away with the conclusion that Puka Nacua has a chance to be the best receiver in the NFL. Now, I'm not saying he is now. I'm not saying he will be this year or next year. But I'm saying this translates. This is not a one-year wonder. You get to a point where you absolutely hit another level. Okay, this is a rookie doing what he was able to do. No. Okay, this translates. This is legit. Puka Nacua is here to stay, and that's why I'm actually doing his video first. Because my bold prediction video was both he and Cooper Kupp would combine for 3,000 yards. A lot of people push back on that, say that's ridiculous. What about Kyren Williams? What about Blake Corum, the run game, Demarcus Robinson? I understand that. But you have to also keep in mind, there's no limit. The Rams could just have a ton of yards and be that as it may. Yeah, they get a chance to have Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp go over 3,000 total. I think it's going to happen. I really do. I think these two guys are going to absolutely go off. But I think Puka Nacua has surpassed Cooper Kupp in a sense because I trust Puka Nacua more based on the last season, whereas Cooper Kupp has had a hard time staying healthy. Okay, Puka Nacua's gotten banged up, but he never missed a game. Played all 18. That has to count for something. So right now, wide receiver 1 for me is Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp is more experienced and obviously he's more textbook, I would say. But as far as a guy, if you have to choose between Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and who you think is the most reliable, it's Puka Nacua, okay? Cooper Kupp might still be the better receiver, but the most reliable is Puka Nacua. He'd be my wide receiver 1. Doesn't matter, though, because they have 2 wide receiver 1s. They have a wide receiver 2, potentially in Tutu Atwell, and Demarcus Robinson, the way they're both playing. Atwell, his issue has just been lack of usage. But when you talk about Puka Nacua, you're talking about one of the better receivers in football, easily top 15 right now, in my opinion. And I think he's in for a huge year. So what are my thoughts on him going into 2024? I think he's going to go over 1,500 yards. He would have done that had he, had an extra game with Stafford instead of ripping. He would have done that had he played all of week 18 instead of a half. There were so many ways he would have done that. Well, now I think this offense, also keep this in mind, this passing game didn't get better until the season went on. It was not great. I'm going to be honest with you. This offense ended up being really good in top 10, the broader scope of it. But the reality is this offense wasn't consistently great. Without Kyron Williams, they were abysmal, And so the reality is it's another year. It's another year of Mike LaFleur's offensive coordinator. It's another year of Sean McVay, another year of Puka Nacua training with Cooper Kupp. It's another year with Matthew Stafford. I love it all. And so I'm super bullish on Puka Nacua. If you want to be that person that plays it safe and says he's not going to be that good and he's going to drop off considerably because there's film on him, I think you're overreacting. I think you're overanalyzing. What he did, go back and watch the tape, is very translatable to the next level. It's very translatable to the next season, and he's going to translate to the next season. Is he going to necessarily break records again? It's a little easier to break the rookie records than it is to break some of these records. Now you're talking about what Cooper Kupp was doing, Triple Crown, things like that. But he's on a fast track to get to that point at some point. So maybe it's not year 2. It doesn't have to be. But if you're looking at the Rams offense as anything other than a top 5 offense, I don't know what you're looking at. So I think Puka Nacua is in for a huge year. I think we might see double-digit touchdowns from him. He's going to go over 1,500, I think, and he'll probably be in the 100 reception range. So those are my thoughts. His biggest issue, concentration drops. If he can improve on that, there's not going to be really any weakness to his game. He's shown you all different ways he can win at the line of scrimmage. He's shown you all different ways he can win through contact. He can be redirected, come back to the football, play off schedule. We always talk about the quarterback playing off schedule. We forget that wide receivers also have to play off schedule at times, especially when you have a quarterback like Matthew Stafford. Talk about the route running. Talk about the hands. Okay, he struggles with concentration drops. He had plenty of drops. I get that. But you can't take away his ability near the sideline. It's insane. His body control, his, ability to contort his body, stay in bounds. It was quite honestly amazing to watch that. So it really makes it hard to defend this guy all over the field. I think it does translate again, and I think Puka Nacua is going to be one of the best receivers in the NFL yet again this season, and he's going to help in a big way to help the Rams get that number 1 seed this year and be one of the more dominant offenses in football. Those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts on Puka Nacua year 2? I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see what you guys think, and that's going to do it. So appreciate you guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Follow me on all social media at JKBogan, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, folks. Later. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.